I've got the number one dad one again today.
Yeah.
Only because
you are the number one dad.
Apparently that's what they keep saying.
You're the only dad in here.
I'm the only dad in it. Well,
you're the only one old enough to be a dad.
That we know of.
Oh yeah.
Nice dancing that this morning. Thanks. From you. Very nice dancing.
There's a skill to being able to sit down and dance, I think.
There is, and you've got it. And even though the legs were going,
leg and arm movement in that one. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday morning show. Good morning, Leicester. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm a little tired, but okay. We're up and we're moving, and we've got a coffee. And I hope you guys have got coffees or teas or even a beer, because some of you obviously watch this in the afternoon or in the evening.
Is it even a coffee if it's not in one of these?
Well, you're right, and I don't know why I've not made mine in my Sunday morning show one this morning, but they're new, and we're going to learn to make sure we make our coffees in our Sunday morning coffee mugs. So, busy week.
Yeah, every week's busy.
The golf season is just, this is the way it works.
It's all like busy, because of what's happened, it all seems to be crammed into such a small window, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like everyone's trying to get on the golf course.
And it's not just Torquay, 100%, but it's not just Torquay, it's a lot of golf courses, and I'm sure you guys have got the same at your golf courses. Yeah. It's almost like it's tough to get a tee time right now.
Yeah, definitely.
In a lot of golf courses around the UK, certainly. So, but we've had a busy week. Monday we did a little what's in the bag with James, which I think went down really quite well.
Yeah, he's a good lad, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a very good lad, and hopefully we'll get him out onto the golf course a little bit more. I know a lot of people have been asking for that from the Tavistock vlog that we did.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely get him out. I had a good chat with him on the phone a couple of nights ago, and he's keen to do a bit more with us. Cool. So that's
always nice, isn't it?
And then we had the Cayman trilogy. Let's call it a trilogy. Yeah, because it was a 3-part Cayman series, absolutely fantastic. I mean, we have fun on the golf course, don't we?
Yeah, that was another level, wasn't it?
It was just nice to get out and play with a couple of our very old friends, and I know all the comments have been really, really positive towards that particular series that we did.
We spent a lot of time in that group, didn't we? Sort of in, late 90s, early 2000s, out every weekend, playing a lot of golf and playing county stuff together.
Yeah.
And club stuff as well. It was good time, wasn't it?
It was good times, and we were quite lucky because we had a good group of kids, I suppose, coming up through the system who all became, or a lot of them became pros, or very, very good
10
golfers.
or 12 out of the group of us all turned pro, didn't we?
And it made a massive difference when you kind of all stick together and you become
a great team,
friends.
didn't we? As well?
Definitely. We dominated a lot in a lot of the things that we did as kids, in the team side of things. So that was a really good trilogy. Yeah. Should we call it the trilogy? And then we did the Paul's wedges. Yeah. So you had a good hit with those, didn't you? Just before they arrived. It's kind of a thing you do now, isn't it?
I like doing that.
You open the box. You have a go and then put them back in the box. So, but that was. Hopefully, you've learned a little bit from that. Obviously, those wedges come straight off a tour van. There was nothing wrong with the way in which they were spec'd up, but obviously for Paul, he'd messed about with his clubs so much that he'd kind of forgotten what his fitting kind of was or is. And then obviously when he ordered his wedges, they came through and they weren't quite 100% right for him, so he had to tweak them again to sort of bed into his game. Yeah. Which I suppose you would say is quite a good thing to do.
And there's obviously a little bit of variation between what you get fitted for and what you get, isn't there? Because it's human, they're all made individually, so there's not necessarily error, because it's the wrong word, but there's always variations, isn't there? So.
And then I did the PXG review, which I have to say,
we've got a demo day coming up, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got a fitting day coming up with them, which will be quite good here at Torquay. And there's not just members that are coming; there's lots of visitors coming down for that. But I've got to say, the feel off those clubs are wow.
Yeah, you were impressed, weren't you?
So impressed. I've never hit PXG irons before, but I have to say, absolutely superb. Absolutely superb off the field. You've hit PXG before?
I have, yeah. I've used a driver for a couple of rounds. I had a little few go with it, and before I sold it, because it was just so expensive. I was like, that's got to go. Yeah, and I've hit the irons before. One of the members had a set that he used to come and hit a lot of balls in the studio, and I used to practice with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like good stuff.
And then next week we are a busy week coming up. We're playing a bit of golf.
Yeah, we've got a vlog being filmed at Felston. I worked there the job before I started working for you, so that'd be 4 years ago. I did a summer there. I loved it down there. Yeah, great place. Like you'll see it when on the camera, but call it the Pebble Beach of the southwest.
100% it is.
It's just a nice place. The members were brilliant as well. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time down there.
Yeah, it's good. It
was only you getting that job that made me leave. To be honest, I'd have still been there if you hadn't have
headhunted. Headhunted.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Don't be getting choice,
phone call. Lester, I've got a job. Right, come on, for you.
I'm away.
So we're heading down there on Monday. Though I'm heading up to Bristol.
Yeah,
I'm doing some filming with a very famous person.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah, he is a very famous person. I've played golf with him when I was a kid, but he's turned. Obviously, he was a very good golfer.
Yeah.
Became famous from golf. So anyway, we'll get to see, and I won't give that away yet, but that'll be coming up. But that will be a lot of fun. Like even just chatting with him on the phone, I can sense.
You think I'm slightly mental, but he's another level. Say
good
that
lad. Yeah, you can say that. Yeah. Good lad.
You don't know me, so it's alright.
Don't know. Yeah. So we've got a busy week there, and then but what's coming out next week is I did a little series with Paul down at St Mellion, and again all leading up now to the English Open, which is at the Forest of Arden, which from this point when we're filming this, it will be in about a week and a half's time.
Yeah.
Where I'm going up to caddy for Paul in that. And so we're just doing some videos that are going to feed into that event.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of building it up. So what was supposed to be kind of Yelverton coming up and the course vlog at Yelverton, we just bumped it back a little bit because I want to try and get these ones leading up to the English Open.
Yeah, makes sense. Doesn't it?
Make the most of that opportunity.
Imagine if you won it and you just left all the videos.
Yeah, and we did a course vlog at Yelverton instead.
As much as you love Yelverton,
as much as Yelverton's good. So leading up to that should be really, really good. And what questions do we have then?
We've got a few. I've got one.
Yeah, you've got one.
Fire one out, yeah.
Go on then.
This is a question from Ian French via email.
Yeah.
How do you keep concentration for the 18 holes? How do you switch on and off between your chats and banter and focusing for the shot? Where should mindset be? And also, how do you stop overthinking things when it's not going right?
Now, there's two ways to answer this question, and that is course vlog way and playing tournament golf way is probably the answer to that.
It's just two completely different genres, isn't it?
Oh.
Like when the first video I appeared on Mark's channel at St Mellion, I found it just difficult to start with, just because you have to hit when they're ready. If you're ready, sometimes you're ready to pull the trigger, but you can't because someone's still chatting. They're still so I find it difficult to concentrate. You're just a different game. Like everything about it's different. I play completely differently on a vlog to how I would from playing a tournament. You know. So
when you're playing a vlog, you have to rush between shot to shot. So as soon as you get to that shot, it's about setting up the cameras and getting everything right. When the player is doing that, so when the player is hitting their shot, it's generally somebody else who's setting everything up, so that kind of helps. But between shots, it's very much a run to your ball situation, and certainly if you're in a buggy, that makes it a lot easier. But when generally at the moment, because we don't generally use buggies at the moment, it's like just rush.
And you have to as well. So if two people go left, two go right. If you're playing a 4-ball, you have this camera. And then you have to clean the camera off now, and then two of you go off with one camera, and then two will go. It's just So
your mind is not really, a lot of the time, certainly for me when I'm playing, my mind is not really about the golf. I know it's important to have the good golf, but I always think that we just try and chuck in some really good shots as best we possibly can.
I mean, when you're doing it as well. I mean, I'm probably less switched on than you. Obviously, it's your channel, etc. But you're right. Let's do this. Let's get the drone up. You go up to the green and this. You're always like thinking almost ahead, like what will look good on the camera, like what.
Yeah, and that's
important.
Get the shot tracer on.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you've got to be. I've got to always be quite a way ahead of the game. And as Lester grows into this position, because obviously I've been doing it for a long time now, and Lester has been doing it for a long time, but now he's been given the camera to sort of work with.
he's going to start to learn a lot more as he gets through. I got criticised a bit at Cayman for not zooming in, but I didn't have the camera, so it wasn't me. I was on the green on most of the green.
But it's interesting because as our production gets better, people expect more.
Yeah.
So it's something that certainly when you bring new people into the channel and things like that, it's trying to train them up to use a camera, and generally you don't have the time. They're learning on the job big time as well.
I think as well, it's probably a thing to remember. You've only been doing the channel since the start of the year, so
exactly.
Well, everything's like, all the comments are great, and we're learning as we're doing it, aren't we? Hopefully that you'll notice. We are making mistakes, which people seem to be accepting and understanding. But hopefully, as we move forward, the production levels will get better, won't they? That's the idea, isn't it?
Will. And then what about tournament then? So how are you feeling when you're playing in a tournament? How are you sort of managing your emotions as you kind of
obviously
go through
you play at the speed of play. You play taking your time. The speed of play is quicker than what a vlog, because a vlog can take 5 hours, 6 hours sometimes. So the speed of play is quicker, but the amount of time you take over your shot and the preparation for the shot is obviously longer, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's less chat going on. I do like to talk to people that I play with and get to know them, because for me it's golf now is more of a social
thing. It has to be.
Obviously if I play good golf, it's a bonus, but I just enjoy it, and that's why I would find it hard, I think, to play top level county golf again, because it's not that, to me, that I like to have a little chat with someone, get to know them. I don't want to just be playing golf. And there's quite a lot of people, they've got different goals, but just too focused, and I'm like...
So what about, I'm going to throw this one out there, what about, you've shot some low scores in your day, so how are you feeling when you get to 15, 16, maybe even before that, or you're under par, quite heavily under par, let's say you're 3 or 4 or 5 under par, coming up 16 or whatever it would be, what are you thinking at that point? Are you thinking, right, I'm going to nurse this in? Are you thinking about your score? How does it work for you? Are you thinking about your handicap? These are all things.
I would say I'm more of a nurser. Like I try and work out what field I'm playing. If I'm playing like a club championships, when I used to play in club championship Churston, which I won a couple of times, I was thinking to myself looked at the first day's scores, because it was always 2 days, where I was, thinking generally what would be a good score. And I wasn't trying to necessarily beat the course, I was trying to beat everybody else. I was thinking what's a good score today? Is the course difficult?
Yeah.
If everyone...
You get a good gauge.
Yeah, I get a good gauge for that, and then try and play off that, really. So if there was no wind and the pin's all in the middle of the green and we're playing off forward tees, I'd be like, right, I need to be under par. If it's off the back tees, pins are tricky, tucked away, I'll be thinking maybe 2 or 3 over is a good score.
Yeah, okay.
So I'll be trying to get myself into the tournament. So I think it's a different mindset depending on what you're playing in and the field you're playing in.
And then so if you are 3 or 4 under par, let's say coming up 17 or whatever, how are you dealing with, what do you want to do? Are you still thinking, right, I want to press and make 2 more birdies, or are you thinking, I'm 4 under,
don't make a mistake.
Don't make a mistake.
If you're playing a par 3 and it's 170 yards, but it's a guarded green, I'll be like, right, let's get this on the green.
Yeah.
If you hit a brilliant shot at the pin, but if the pin's tucked right, I'll be hitting into the heart of the green. Yeah. Slightly push it, you'll be near the pin. If you hit a decent shot in the middle of the green, slightly pull it, you'll be on the green. Yeah. But I'll be thinking that, really. And you're more of a pusher, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I will. So I have shot some quite low scores. I've shot, certainly in tournaments, I've shot a couple of 7 under pars in tournaments, and I've got it to, and generally what I've done in those events is I've finished sort of strong. I finished with 2 or 3 birdies in the last 4 or 5 holes, So for me, I'm always thinking, especially in professional golf, is that there's always a good player behind me.
Yeah.
Or there's always somebody out there that's going to post a very good score. So you have to, the mindset for me is massively about just keep pushing forward.
Do you know your score when you're playing?
Because I do know my score. I do know where I'm at. Yeah.
So the biggest thing with your brother, when I used to play a lot, I used to play quite a bit with him.
Yeah.
And one of the rounds we played on the 18th tee, I looked at his he's a great golfer, but it wasn't spectacular. But I looked at his card at Church and I was like, geez, he's 5 under. I didn't realise. Yeah. And I said, do you know you're 5 under? And he was like, generally he didn't have a clue what his score was. And I was like, how do you not know? I know exactly what everyone's
So I've majority of rounds I know where I am. Yeah. However, if there are rounds where I have lost a bit of track. Like I'll say, oh, I'm 3 under and I'm actually 4 under, or I'm 4 over and I'm actually 10 over. I do lose a little bit of track on exactly where I am. So, but for me, I'm definitely. I think I used to be someone who backed off, especially when it came to handicap. Yeah. But definitely now as a pro, I'm just pressing forward. I think
you've got to look at what you're playing as well. Yeah. Like if you're going to that final open qualifying, you don't. I wouldn't be plodding irons round because if you shoot level par or 2 over, you're not getting in either. Whereas you've got to go 5-6 deep, so you've got to give yourself the best chance. Yeah. Haven't you?
So hopefully that answers that question, which I think to a point that probably does. Yeah. So I've got another question, which it's not a question from one individual person, but it's something that I think we need to cover. And it's something that's come up from a number of people that have written in and commented and things like that about pre-shot routine. Yeah. So I figured that in this situation now, we would actually go to... Go on.
Always throw the grass up and don't look at it.
That's Leicester's pre-shot routine. Throw the grass up,
don't look at it, and then ask where the wind's going.
Yeah. It doesn't make me laugh when I'm editing now and I watch you do it.
Didn't even know I did it. I honestly didn't know I did it.
It's part of his pre-shot routine. But I thought what we'd do is we would actually speak to somebody who has had a pre-shot routine because they play a lot of professional tournament golf. So let's head over to my brother Paul and have a little chat with him about his pre-shot routine. Pre-shot routine.
Yep.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Do you use it?
Yes.
Does it help you?
Yes.
Would you advise people to learn to have one?
Yes, I would. I've done it for so long now, I don't even know what I'm doing necessarily. I'm just on autopilot all the time. But I think it's really important that you keep things consistent every time in order to try and. It helps definitely when you're under pressure. Yeah. And it helps day in day out really with your golf.
So I want to get nitty gritty, first tee, big tournament, massive tournament. Yeah. Nerves. Everybody gets a little bit of first tee nerves. Yeah. How do you cope? Do you sort of go into a bit more of a mindset that you're consciously trying to think about your pre-shot routine? What's going on?
I mean, the pre-shot routine for me includes everything. Engaging what the club you're going to hit, what the wind's doing, what the conditions are. That's all part of the pre-shot routine. You've got to go through all that in order to hit the shot. And I think somebody told me once that you're 2 players when you're trying to hit a golf shot. You're the guy who's on your bag, it's almost the caddy who's giving you the club, who's picking the yardage, doing the wind, all the conditions. Yeah. And then there's the guy who's hitting the shot. Yeah. And the guy who's on the bag is the guy who makes all the decisions. Yeah. And the guy who hits the shot is the guy who just follows orders. So as soon as I think people do it, they even draw an imaginary line. As soon as they cross that line, they're then on autopilot and they're committing to that shot. Yeah. I think that's something you've got to factor in as well.
So just go through us now. You've got driver in your hand. Just go through us now with this tee shot. Yeah. Just talk us through what you're going to be doing here.
Okay, so we're on par 5 here, so I'm going to hit driver. Yeah. I'm going to try and hug the left side of the fairway. Yeah. It does dogleg around to the left. Yes. I'm first of all going to work out the wind, slightly into and off the left. Yeah. The temperature's quite low. It's probably about 20 degrees, so that's not too bad. Yeah. It's about an average distance it's going to travel. There's no dew on the ground, any of that. Yeah. And then the next thing, I'm just going to tee it up and then go through my autopilot part, which is your waggles and all that sort of stuff. I always come back and have a look at the shot, and I'd take 1 or 2 practice swings just to get a feel of the sort of shot you're trying to put on it. Also loosens you up. You probably haven't hit a shot for 5-10 minutes, so it's always good to loosen up. I then look behind, pick the line I'm going to hit, or start it on, and the shape of shot I'm trying to hit, and I'll step up into it. I usually address it like this, take a look, go in, and then all I'm doing now is I'm just looking at the target and just looking down at the ball and just getting a feel for how I'm going to hit the shot. So I have a couple of waggles, a couple of looks, and then basically just going to take it back and hit the shot.
And if I had the shot tracer, that would just be an arrow ball straight down the middle.
I'll take that. Yeah, must work.
What's your favourite chocolate?
What, right now?
No, just generally, like, do you like dark chocolate, milk chocolate,
Dark chocolate.
white chocolate? So I like white chocolate occasionally.
Yeah, Laura likes white chocolate, but I just...
Occasionally, but normal chocolate as well. Dark, I don't get dark chocolate.
You don't get it?
No, apparently it's quite good for you, but I don't like it. I don't like the taste. I think it's bitter. Like, you're going in the chocolate for a massive sugar kick, aren't you? You're not going in there for, you know, for health benefits.
No.
If your choice is chocolate, there's no health benefits as far as I'm concerned.
White chocolate,
go for it.
I can't.
Oh yeah.
No.
What, even like
Can't do it.
Milky Bars?
I was never really.
Or,
I mean, you looked
Kinder
more
Egg,
like.
Kinder Egg.
You looked more like the Milky Bar kid, you know.
I'm strong and tough. And only the best is good enough.
You watched the advert as well.
Milky Bars are on me. Do you remember that?
I do remember it. Yeah, with his cowboy hat on.
Yeah.
So is that it?
I think so. We've talked about chocolate. That's the main. That's my love of my life is chocolate.
Well, you did make a big announcement of that on the first video ever.
I love chocolate.
You do love chocolate, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. Easter's like literally my favourite time of the year.
Been and gone, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Been and gone. Right, I think that's it for this week's Sunday morning show. Lester, thank you very much. Remember to, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and ring the bell. If you ring the bell, which is just next to the subscribe button, you'll get notifications of any more videos that will be coming out, obviously, throughout the week. And as always, keep sending in your questions. If you've got any other questions, send them in. We'll be happily answer them as many as we possibly can on the Sunday morning show. And stay safe. See you soon.
See you soon.